I know it isn't really what this film is about, of course, but the cat distribution system invading Hollywood is just very exciting to me.
I can feel in my body that it was really bad. But there's a reason, even if I can't see it, that I'm alive.
Ooh, boy. Okay, so I've never seen a film that is handling these sorts of topics that is able to be absolutely hilarious. I should clarify that immediately by saying that it is trying to be hilarious. It is a black comedy. It's got incredibly funny scenes. It's also got some haunting scenes around the topics of sexual assault. And it's all in a directorial debut, which is nuts. Sorry Baby stars Eva Victor, who also wrote and directed this, as Agnes, and something bad happened to Agnes. We see years of her life, not chronologically, as she is sexually assaulted by her student advisor, has to attempt to move on from that with her life and reconcile her feelings and thoughts about it. Eats a sandwich that's just really good at one point. Like, it's a crazy film that isn't almost about anything. There's no moment where she's just fixed following this, and that's, I mean, accurate. It's a very difficult film for a man to talk about, but it is very interesting to watch because she is capable of dealing in a film that I don't know if she's written a film before, but she's never directed one before, and she's starring in it at the same time, and she's able to deal with such violent extremes, which is incredibly impressive. She's also, I'm not a big fan of non-chronological films, and I say that a lot because I feel like there's been a lot of these coming out recently, and I keep finding films that I like in spite of it, so maybe I'm becoming more of a fan of it. This really is wonderful in so many fun ways, and I love that because I feel like Eva herself is kind of saying, no, just because this is in my film, just because it happens in my film, just because my film is somewhat about this, doesn't mean that these themes get to drag my film down into being bleak. And there are so many funny moments, like when she just finds the cat and goes, ah, fuck, well, I guess I love you now. Like, how much more relatable can you get? And when she meets her neighbor and accidentally writes herself into going, sorry, we only bought 2 hot dogs. It's so funny when it wants to be. It's also so hard-hitting when it wants to be. And I love the fact that you could argue this is one of those films that's not really about anything, that there's nothing driving the plot forward, and that's because very much you can feel it, like, after that happens, sometimes after the bad things happen in life, you don't feel like you're being driven forward. You don't feel like there's an end goal. You feel like you're just trying to, like, survive day to day instead of living. And that's tough. And obviously, I'm a man. I don't necessarily know what this is like, but I don't need to, because the film paints such a vivid, incredible picture of how, in real life, because it feels real, you would try to deal with something like this happening. In not trying to be so serious and monumental about this, it almost manages to create more of a definitive film on this sort of topic. So, something that is a proper experience and is a rewatchable film. I've never seen a film, I don't think, that's about, like, sexual assault or anything like this that I would want to rewatch, even if it's good. This, I would, and that is very important. I feel like this is a film that could really just be that incredible, important thing to somebody that's gone through something like this without becoming inaccessible to other viewers as a result, which is very tricky to do, I have to say. And also, I just feel like it's something that people are going to be discovering for years. It's not getting a huge release. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, by the way, but it is a strong, confident film from a first-time director that it's just so interesting and fun, and yet it also has that incredible scene where it's just the camera sitting, looking outside the house, and then following her as she goes home after it happens. Like, that on its own could be just an incredible short film on this topic that's so hard-hitting. But it's in the context of this bigger film, which is much more fun. It's like she's almost padding the horrible, spiky thing in foam so that you can manage to hold it, so that you want to hold it. Does that make any sense? The subject matter is so tough to work with, but Eva Victor just tears through. She is incredible as an actor in this as well. I don't think I've really seen her in much before as an actor or anything, but she was great. Naomi Aki, as well as her friend, is such a good friend character, is so great. And I love that the dialogue feels very real. It's not trying to be flowery, it is just there are times where you have no idea what to say regarding this sort of thing. And the scene in the bathtub where she's trying to explain what happened to her, the big speech at the end, again, not flowery language. Despite her character being an English professor, they have all the ammo they need to make flowery language out of this, but they choose not to, and I think that is very important. It makes it feel so real. And it is just a film that stays with you, no matter who you are. So, I'm giving New England, looks like the bleakest place in the world to live. Oh my god. 4 stars. It's the kind of film that in like 5 years, people are going to be all over like TikTok or whatever is popular by then, being like, oh my god, have you seen this film? Like, damn, this film from 2025 will hit you like a ton of bricks. And I'll be like, yeah, been waiting for this to happen. Because it's gonna.